Good day, and welcome to this episode of the Marketing Guides for Small Business podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about free offers. Free offers are everywhere. Free iPads when you open a bank account, free decoder rings when you get the right things with Fruit Loops. Act now and get a free month's membership at a fitness club. Buy one, get one free. Lots of free offers. Our world is filled with free offers because we as consumers love free stuff. No doubt about it, there's nothing like the thrill of getting a great deal, and the marketing industry is full of free offers also. But what if there's a hidden cost to free? What if by accepting a free offer, your business is actually getting hurt by accepting something that will keep you from achieving the results that you would receive otherwise? So, I'm Ian Cantle, and I'm joined by our panel of marketing guides. We've got Dan, we've got Jen, we've got Paul, we've got Ken, and today we're covering the deadly cost of free and how free can kill your marketing efforts. So let's jump in, guys. I'm actually really interested in this topic, and I'm interested to see what comes out of our panel discussion today. So I thought it would be kind of interesting to just open this up to a round table. Let's start by going around to each of our marketing guides and having you share a free offer or marketing deal that you've seen in the marketplace that was a negative thing and not a positive thing. So, Ken, why don't you start us off?
All right. So I guess the one that jumps to my mind is I lost a client to somebody who promised that if they didn't get them ranking on the first page of Google within the first 6 months, everything would be free. All the
Wow.
6 months, and that's fundamentally, it's just absolutely dishonest because nobody can make a promise that they're going to get you ranking on Google. Google actually has language all over their website when you're looking at search engine optimization that anybody who makes those types of claims, you should run away because there is no Google SEO certified program or anything like that. I lost the client to them. I have no idea how it turned out. Honestly, I don't care because if they were foolish enough to take advantage of that or be taken advantage of, um, they're not my client anyway. They're not somebody I need to be working with. But it's fundamentally dishonest. And I think, there are ways that you can do free that are really good, and their thought was, well, okay, well, what do I have to lose? I mean, if I pay them money and I don't get the results, I get it all back. And it's like, what about opportunity costs? I mean, you are now 6 months down the road of missed opportunities if it's not working out for you. And people never think about opportunity costs, and they need to. Inaction, it always costs in terms of opportunity lost. So, or even making bad decisions is opportunity lost. So that just really torqued me in some serious ways. And so I have no idea how it worked out for them. I'd be surprised if it's good.
That's a great example, Ken. Thanks. Jen, what about you?
A free example that I've seen is free business card design. And the reason why I think that's such a terrible offer is because what are you going to do? You're going to choose blue? Are you going to choose Times New Roman? Are you going to get a logo with that? Is that going to be the right color and the right font and the right kind of branding that your whole company will now portray into the marketplace? And like, is it right for who you are trying to serve? So the whole idea of getting the free business card design is just it's one certain part of your whole overall branding that needs to have a lot more consideration than, oh, I get this free in 500 cards.
That's a great example. I mean, the printing industry, it's been hurt in the last while because of digital
Mm.
marketing, but and especially with COVID. But yeah, the free printing of the business cards as well. That's a common one. Like buy this and you'll get 500 business cards for free. Yeah, great,
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. And Dan, what about you?
Well, let me start by saying I think anyone who gives away services like creative services for free is a total hack. I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's devaluing yourself, and I think it's devaluing the people who are actually good at it. And so, for example, I will see things like free brand strategy. And I'm like, those things are worth something. And I honestly, I don't feel too threatened by it. I don't believe it's going to probably be good to be free. If somebody gives it away for free, then they're either taking no time at all, because it would be massively unprofitable if they did it right. And if they don't do it right, then yeah, they'll just whip out something that they just kind of did in an hour or two. And that's not a brand strategy. That's not even, I don't know what you call that. So I've seen that. And I don't know if the agencies kind of think that's a loss leader or something, but it's a bad idea. And I would never do it. But the one that really cracked me up was the one who said, it's similar to what you said, Ken. Client, I didn't lose him. It was just one of these, oh, I'm bringing on this person. And I'm like, what? And so I was doing content and strategy, and this client goes, yeah, I'm going to bring on this guy. He offered to do free SEO. And I said, what? Like, free SEO? I'm like, what's in it for him? Like, well, he's building up his business and he just wants the experience. And I'd like you to talk to him and, you guys see how you can work together. And so I sat down with him, and he goes, yeah, it's really great to meet you and stuff. And I said, yeah, just one question. What the hell do you think you're doing? Like, and he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, if you're trying to build your business and you're giving away your business for free for experience, I'm like, if you're any good, which I hope you are, I don't know you. I've never heard of you. So I think let's say you're good. What are you doing? And he's like, oh, well, long story short, he was learning on the job, and he was not responsive to me at all as a partner. And he was a joke. And so, you get these people, just like Ken said, who many times they have no self-worth. They don't even see themselves as anything as an expert. They're just trying to get on board with something, and then they think that's great when they do. But they're eventually going to be found out. And when you're found out, you're going to get your ass kicked. Like, people are going to badmouth you to the high hills, and you won't even get out of the gate as a business because you gave away the farm for free. So that's kind of my experience with it. I could not believe he was giving away those kinds of services for free.
Dan, I think that there's a real risk right now that there's going to be an explosion of this if there hasn't been already, because, we're seeing a massive shift in the workforce. We're seeing a lot of people exiting jobs that weren't very appealing to them. One of the most appealing jobs is to become a digital marketer, because you can work from home and you can do whatever you want to, wherever you want to.
Yeah.
And, and so I think, our listeners need to be aware that if you're getting something for free, it should have value. And if it's for free, then you need to try to recognize it for what it's worth. Look, if you have a deep relationship with somebody, or you're really comfortable with them and you want to give them a chance, great. Realize it's an internship, not free, in the sense that you're getting expertise for free, and it's a learning on the job kind of a thing. And there's a big risk to that. And again, I'm going to say this again: opportunity cost.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like, it was the same thing like you were saying, Ken. It was, well, what do I have to lose? What do you have to lose? I don't know. You just want to like screw around for 6 months and not be optimizing your website maybe the way it should be, like, because he's bad, and I don't think there were any real good results from it at all. So it's just like, no, that is a horrible way to evaluate services of what do I have to lose? Like,
yeah. Well, in this case, it could be very risky, because they could do some black hat stuff that could really hurt your website.
100%, 100%. You're letting in people to be your admin on social media channels. You're letting people basically take the keys to your life, your professional life, and you want them to go out there and say whatever, because they can do that. You don't get to check their stuff.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, if you piss them off, they can go out there and say whatever they want as you. Does that sound like a scrupulous person? Because that's what a free person is. That they can do that. We would not do that, but those people are out there.
I think one of the challenges that business owners have too is that they hear all of the buzz about how SEO can be good for your business. They hear how you can leverage social media for your business, Google Ads, whatever it is, whatever slice of marketing that is hot. They'll hear lots about it, and they'll feel like I need to check that off my list. And sometimes free can be a way, because in all fairness, we're in the industry. We understand the complexities and how much has to go into helping a business rank well on Google. But the average business owner would not know that, and nor should they, right? They're specialists in their field, and we're specialists in our field, and so I think there's a compassion that as marketers we need to exhibit to them and just say, we're trying to keep you from going down this path of free that potentially will hurt your business in the long term, because especially with SEO, you might not even know the results for 6 months, the negative aspects.
Yeah.
Good points. Paul, what about you?
What about me? What did I do?
What you got for us? What free offers have you seen out there that can potentially be a negative thing for businesses?
This something landed in my inbox a couple weeks ago, and I'd never seen this one before. This is a new one. Is that like $300 a month, they'll do your SEO for you, and you'll get like 5 free backlinks a month. Well, that tells me they're going out and buying backlinks, and they're probably buying them from India or something. Nothing against India, but Google's getting really good at recognizing these spammy backlinks, and that can hurt you in the long run. So they were basically, you bought this cheap. I don't know what you can do for $300 a month from an SEO perspective, but they were offering free backlinks, which means that they're spammy backlinks is what they are, from low quality website. You probably have a bunch of porn pointing back to your website. But something else, and this isn't necessarily a free offer, but I think it's something that business owners need to be aware of. And they'll actually mail it out so it looks official. It says your domain's going to expire.
Yep.
And send us $700 or whatever it is. It's a scam. They're just, your domain is not going to expire. If your domain's going to expire, you will get an email from your domain registrar. They're not going to send you something in the mail.
Right.
But not a free offer, but something to be aware of, because we get that from our clients. What is this? It's ignore it. It's a scam.
I bet we get 20 a year.
Yeah.
Inquiries from our clients. I get them, and if you just read it, if you just stop and read it, at the very bottom, it says, this is an advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
So anything you get that's asking you for money that you don't know what that source is, read it thoroughly and contact somebody that is a professional that you trust.
And if it comes from a Gmail account, just set it aside, put it in your trash bin, move on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That is a great point.
Any business offer that's coming from a free email account, I don't care if it's Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, delete that quickly.
Yeah.
Yep. I wanted to share one. I recently came across this, and before I do, Paul was talking about how some of these services offer really bad backlinks. I actually took over or won the business of a dental client. This was years ago. And when we started to dig into their SEO rankings, they had lots of traffic coming to their website. But they're a local business, right? They're a dentist. They don't serve all of North America or all of the world. And a lot of the traffic was coming from elsewhere. And when we started to dig into, what's going on? Yes, they did have some general content that was very fascinating to other people. what teeth look like and blah, 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 even horses' teeth and stuff, but it wasn't valuable. But then we started to dig into where some of these sites were pointing from. And sure enough, there was porn sites and all sorts of really bad quality links. And so stuff like that can actually really hurt your search engine ranking. And indeed it was. And we were able to get rid of some of those and turn them around. Yeah. The example, though, I wanted to share was fairly recent. I was doing a total online presence audit for a company. And when we started to dig a little bit into what service providers they currently have, one of them we learned was, we're always asking, like, who runs your website, who's doing your ads, if they're doing that kind of thing, who's doing your SEO. And we learned that their SEO, they weren't very happy with, but they got a free year of SEO from their web design company. And the results were, because that's what we were doing, we were looking at results for them. There was nothing. They had not moved the needle one iota the whole year. And so, that certainly raised the question, just doing this audit raised the question with this client to then go back and say, what were we getting? It sounded good at the time, yeah. But it definitely moved them or helped move them to use that web development company. But in the end, what Ken and everybody's been talking about is the opportunity costs. Like, imagine the number of leads they would have gotten from qualified buyers in their area if the SEO was done right.
Yeah.
And I should have mentioned it, but when we're talking about backlinks, Google looks for relevancy, and Ian, you kind of alluded to this, that if you're a plumber, backlinks from a financial website doesn't do you any good. I don't care if it's from Forbes. That's a great link to have, but it's not relevant to what you do, and Google will generally just ignore it. It's not going to help you.
Yeah.
And I would, if I can just jump in here for a sec. I was giving this a lot of thought, and it's kind of like this. I mean, there's a lot of people in this world who say, well, we're a world-class whatever. We're a world-class law firm. We're a world-class marketing agency. We're first-class this, first-class that. You can't be world-class or first-class and then say, I'm going to go out there and hire somebody for free or for $20 a month. Like, that doesn't align. Like, that just does not work, because the outside world may not know what you're paying these people, but there is literally a disconnect between the quality you speak of as a business and the kind of quality that you're willing to settle for as a service, and I call those people out right here and now, because if you want to be known that, you got to be that all the way through, not taking shortcuts, because that ain't right.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Dan. And a lot of businesses, I'm sure you guys have this experience as well, but I actually find businesses that have tried to take shortcuts are usually the ones that end up talking to me and my business. And maybe you guys find the same thing, because they've heard that there's an authenticity of what we deliver. Whereas they've tried to take shortcuts or cheap ways, or, sometimes it's not even cheap ways. It's they thought these people, they weren't cheap. They were paying a lot per month and they didn't deliver, and they've been burned multiple times. And, I'm their marketing therapist. I don't know. Are you guys marketing therapists?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. All the time.
Yeah. Talking them off the ledge so that they can reinvest into good marketing rather than throwing it off the bridge or whatever.
And who's going to redo the work? Like, if you do free, what's to say that you aren't going to go back and do a lot of revisions with somebody who's that crappy? And we see it all the time is, oh, well, they're really cheap, so they're good, and I have to redo their work about, 60% of it's fine, but I have to redo 40%. To Ken's opportunity cost, what are you actually paying then? Like, what are you really paying? Oh, well, they're $20 a month, but take your hourly cost on there and smack it on there and see what you're really paying. That's the cold water. That's the thing that they have to be taking a good look at. to know that free is not free.
Yeah.
Just when you were saying that, Dan, one thing occurred to me that I don't see in the marketplace as much as I used to, because I think people understand the value of their website now, that it's like a brick and mortar part of their business. They have to invest well in this, or it's going to reflect badly on them, and hurt them if they don't. But I mean, my first business was a graphic design web development agency, and all the time we used to get people saying, oh, we decided to go with my nephew and have him do it, or hey, my kid was learning HTML in high school, so we went that way. I never hear that anymore, but those businesses, my gosh, they were hurt a lot when they chose that path, because it represented such a poor quality to their prospects, who may have been online far before the business owner was, right? Because at that time, the web was exploding, and they were still learning about it, but a lot of people were on it, and we all kind of view the world through our own lens. But do you guys still see anything like that, or has that one passed us by, thankfully?
I think it's passed us by.
Well,
no,
it's
no,
the
no,
one
it
where it's
it's still very
my
prevalent.
nephew, you mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my nephew, my
My
kid,
nephew.
somebody who's
Okay.
just learning,
We've had that pass us by.
yeah.
My
Although
Thankfully, no.
Ken's nodding, but
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
yeah, I
If
mean
you-
that's
Look, we're known for doing websites. People contact us first for websites, and because that's what they know to ask for. But then they're really asking for bigger marketing solutions. No, they still use friends and family. And now they're using people who have been displaced. Either they displaced themselves, or they've been displaced in the economy. So and it's going to get worse. I mean, the next 12 to 18 months, I think there's going to be an explosion of this, and you're going to be seeing all kinds of marketing people popping up out of the woodwork, because they're like, okay, cool, I can sign up, I can pay for this cheap little program online, I get these tools, voila. Well, they're not marketing experts. I mean, they haven't been doing this. They haven't been. They certainly, they may be a one-trick pony. They may be really good at doing one thing. Maybe they figured out that pretty well. Don't be fooled by it, though.
yeah.
I mean, recognize it for what it is. And I'm all for giving people opportunities. I'm not saying that, but just go into this eyes wide open.
count the cost. Yeah.
But the difference here is that if you're serious, you're not hiring somebody. You're not saying, oh, my associate here is on Instagram a lot, so I'm going to make her my social media coordinator.
I hear that one all the time.
Or my wife used to work in marketing 15 years ago. Can she look and participate on this? No, she can't.
Absolutely.
But sure, okay. But it's if you're serious about that person and you're serious about their growth, then we have all 5 of us have had a program that, okay, we'll mentor them. We'll bring that person along. We have that.
Yeah.
If you're serious, that's what you do. If you're not serious, you just throw somebody onto something because they're on Facebook a lot. And
just to add to that and confirm the unsaid truth here is that there are very qualified people that may be a son, a daughter, a nephew. I've seen that happen where they actually are super qualified and they do get hired, and that's fine. That's, but know what you're getting. You want a qualified person doing your work.
Right.
And my dog has sneezes. Hey, Ken, you've talked on this a little bit, but I thought we should dig into this a little bit more. Everyone loves getting free stuff, but in the world of marketing investment, investing in the right things to get a return on investment, what are some of the potential costs that a business owner may not be aware of when they accept a free offer or a deal?
Yeah. So we've talked a lot about opportunity costs. What I would just say is,
can you define that a little bit just for our listeners? Because I know we use that term a lot, but
no, absolutely. So if you don't know what your customer lifetime value is, or your average transaction size is for your different ideal types of customers, you need to stop everything right now and figure that out. And you need to calculate that out. And if you shouldn't do marketing without goals. You should have a goal that says, I want to get X number of new leads per month, or I want to generate X amount of new revenue per month, or, you know, what, but you need to spend some time doing this. And again, free is not going to get that to you. So you can't actually adequately put a cost to opportunity cost that you've missed by doing this free stuff if you don't have those numbers. So that's like a huge issue that I think many businesses address, or even inaction. Inaction has massive opportunity costs. So and you know, and not only that, it's compounded because not only are you not acting, or maybe you're working with somebody for free, getting lukewarm, average, basically non-important results. Well, your competitors aren't. They're making investments. They're moving forward. So not only are you losing opportunity, you're also potentially losing market share. And so, you know, people just don't stop to think about that. And I can't stress how important it is. You know, if you take 6 months, 10 months, 12 months to make a decision to do something, or if you invest in this free 6-month SEO program, like I talked about, you're missing massive opportunities. You might face remediation work that you're going to have to pay for to fix stuff that free was done. That's a big cost. So not only have you lost the opportunity, you're losing more opportunity while you're having to go back and fix what was done incorrectly in the first place. So it's a dangerous thing to do. You know, I think we'll talk about what some good free things are. Mm-hmm. And there are good free things to consider. Absolutely. I'm not saying that, but just, you know, if you're expecting to rock the world by getting a free SEO program or a free website, and the other thing is it's not free. If you're paying them for something else, you're paying for it. It may not be a line item that's attached to say, hey, I'm, you know, it looks like you're getting a website for free, but you're paying for it because you're paying them for some other services that they're delivered. So even if there is a free element there, it's not free.
Yep. Good explanation. And Jen, I think that one of the often overlooked aspects of free deals is that it lures us as business owners away from better long-term choices by offering a short-term perceived incentive. Can you speak to how this could potentially keep a business owner from choosing the best choice for his marketing investment?
Yeah, sure. I have a whole scenario that I've prepared for you to walk through and really point out the pain on it. But I mean, generally, we could probably all agree that all of us have been online shopping and bought extra to get the free shipping, right? We didn't mean to go on there and buy the extra thing, but you know, $6, $10, $20 more, and we'll get the free shipping. The same kind of incentive that pulls. So all of a sudden we go on there to buy our, you know, ABC or whatever, and we're now have a goal of to get the free shipping. So in marketing, when there's a free offer, oftentimes that becomes the goal instead of the whole, you know, the whole thing that you're supposed to be doing. And in my scenario, I wanted to walk you through is direct mail. So it is old school, but I did that purposely so everybody understands what direct mail is. So say the offer is, you know, the free design and printing of the postcard that you're going to send out in your direct marketing campaign. That's a large amount of the whole campaign. So that can sound a great deal. Okay. So, but here's the thing. So the business owner will be focused on the free printing, the free design, the free piece. Okay, great. But there's a whole bunch of other elements that come into play that is either not going to be free because you have to either think about it, spend time planning with it, or you actually have to hire and get some help doing the type of work. So here's the thing. So you have your postcard. Okay, that's going to be freely designed and freely printed. What's the offer? What's the copywriting on it? Okay, what kind of paper are you going to print on? Who are you going to mail to? Are you going to mail once, or are you going to mail a series? Is the series of postcards free? And then what are you going to do? What is the call to action that's going to be on the postcard? Are you going to have them come into your store? Are you going to have them go to a special landing page to get to you know, to sign up for the offer, or to express interest in the offer? All of those elements around that free postcard cost time and money and thinking And what lures the business person in is like, okay, yeah, printing a design, that's really expensive. Okay, let's go with, let's go with this offer. And then what I have seen happen is they either get frustrated because they haven't done the list research, they haven't really done the thinking around what is the offer, should it really be a series, should it be one, what's it going to on the landing page, how are we going to fulfill the offer, how are we going to track how well we're doing with that. And it becomes the free thing is what's pulling them to do this promotion instead of this direct mail promotion is good for the business. It's good for our offer. It makes a lot of sense in what we're trying to do. So the problem with free in that kind of scenario is it takes your mind and it takes your focus off what's good for my business. How are we going to, get these sales? What is our purpose in the marketplace to, oh my God, I got, 3,000 free postcards. Let's go this way.
Right.
So it just, it takes your focus off onto the wrong goal. And then it just causes undue frustration because of all these other costs that are not talked about surrounding that free offer.
That's a great example.
Yeah. Well, and the word free is dangerous. If you're trying to do an email marketing campaign and you're using any credible email marketing tool, it will flag and tell you that the word free is a spam word, and it will get your email put into the spam folder. Now, that should tell all of our listeners everything they need to know about free.
Yeah. I was going to share this story after you said that, Jen, that I remember when it wasn't free, but I'm assuming that McDonald's hired some people to deliver these mailers out to the community when I was a teenager, for cheap. That's the only thing I can imagine the reason for this. But I remember my friends and I were walking along and we see this bundle of coupons, and they were really good coupons. They were like scratch to win coupons. And so we found this bundle of McDonald's coupons, and lo and behold, it was like the best scratch and win thing. There wasn't a lot of time left in the contest, but obviously the deliverer, instead of actually delivering them, threw them out the window of their car or whatever. And so as teenagers, we thought we, won the jackpot there. But then you learn as a kid that, most of them are really undervalued contest winnings. So,
Yeah.
but we got some free.
Some free fries.
For free fries, yes. You know the one I'm talking about.
It matters. It matters, especially when you're a kid.
But to me, that speaks to the value of making sure you hire quality people, even to do things that seem rather menial to you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dan, how can a business owner avoid some of these bad deals we've been talking about, free deals that could potentially hurt their business?
Well, I think first of all, many times what we're talking about here is a tactic that has been offered out there. And do you have a strategy yet of any kind that you can truly say, this is our brand strategy for our business? If you don't have that, then we don't need to have a free discussion, because that's step one. You don't, there is no, okay, well, I got to bring on this person who's offering me free SEO or free social media or free logos or anything until we've done the strategy first. So I bet you anything, 75% of the time or more, that hasn't been in place. That is really what kind of helps cut that off at the pass. So that's one thing. I think besides that, you don't need to talk to 17 different people. I think the thing that you need to do is then say, what is this person saying as far as my target audience? And I think that's another kind of litmus test. If they're saying stuff like, well, everybody's doing video because it's hot, or it's blank is so hot right now, you better get up and run the hell out of that room right now, because that person is going to do flavor of the month marketing. And they will probably, say something is free. Something is in what they say is going to be free. And again, I don't believe in anyone giving away services for free. That is, anyone who is worth their weight in gold does not give away their services for free. And so just have that in mind. There's desperation there. And don't say that it's going to, what have I got to lose? You got a crap load to lose if you go with somebody. You can screw up your business that has taken a while to build based on one post, and it doesn't take a lot. We've seen examples of that enough in the marketplace, and we go, who did they hire to, what were they thinking? Well, maybe they weren't free, but they were pretty green or something. It always comes out that way. So just keep that in mind, and always let the strategy part be your guide. Because again, I don't think they usually have that.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think I can't remember which podcast it was in, but we talked about criteria for certain things. I think if you can at least take the time and educate yourself as a business owner a little bit and look for resources that help you build out a criteria in, okay, if I'm really interested in investing in video marketing or SEO or Google Ads or something, right? Take the time to try to figure out a criteria, first of all, with your goals. You're absolutely right, Dan. A strategy would be way better. But I know some clients aren't ready for that. And so, but have a criteria. What is it you're hoping to achieve in this purchase? And as Jen said, don't get caught by the incentives. Don't be, pulled away by them so easily, because you can be.
And one thing we haven't talked about yet is the free, that they think the free of doing it themselves. So
that's a really good point.
That's a free. And I'm a pretty good writer. I think I can do it. You should see my briefs that I write for people on this team.
Right.
Oh my God! Like, no. So or I can give it to so and so. So that's their free, is I can do it myself.
Yeah.
And when it's I can do it myself, or I went to a webinar about SEO, or I did this, I did that, I can figure it out. Bull. I mean, it's they're never going to figure it out the way a real person who does it all the time is, but that's their shortcut. And I have dealt with some people who on paper are pretty smart folks, and they've been doing it a long time, and they go, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. And I have told them on their way out, you're not going to. Just so you know. You're never going to write that book. You're never going to get the social media done. You're never going to do any of that stuff. Because I don't care. Because they're kidding themselves. So that's the free that could be even more dangerous than the outside hiring. I can do it.
Really good point, Dan. I actually came across a business owner who took a year and a half to learn how to build websites and how to do what they thought was SEO, which held back their business for a year and a half. Like I can't even imagine the opportunity cost to them. And then in the end, they ended up hiring out because they realized reality finally hit them, and they're like, this is not the business I'm in. I am not a web developer SEO person. I have a business to run. So,
and that's the other opportunity cost, is they were spending their time and effort working on the wrong things.
Yeah.
Instead of the things that could have been big difference makers for their business.
Yeah.
And look, we do that. We fall into this sometimes ourselves. I get it. Like, we'll say something like, oh, I can do the video editing. I mean, that's fine. I can do it. And then 5 hours later, you're like, oh my God.
I'm guilty. I've totally done that.
Oh, totally. Like I was, honest to God, I was looking at
I have Adobe Creative Suite. I can do it.
Yeah. What's the big deal going from iMovie to Final Cut Pro? It can't be that much of a learning curve, right?
I'm relatively smart. I can figure it out.
Yeah. I did this. How hard could it be? Oh,
there's a difference between smart and wise, right? And I've proven myself not always wise. And
I get it, but take your hands off the wheel. It's okay.
Hey, I thought the next question would be good as a round table. I'll start with Paul though, because I had him listed here, so I know he's prepared, and so it gives you guys time to think about it. I think we'd all agree that free isn't always bad. We've certainly talked about the bad aspect of it, but we have to be smart about how we approach offers like that. And with that in mind, are there free offers, Paul, and the rest of the gang will again do a roundtable, that you've seen that are a good thing, that actually help people in maybe their buying process or in some other aspect of their business?
Yeah, I would look at how this free offer is being presented, because a lot of times you'll get a free website review and it's probably not anything in depth. It's probably very basic, which is fine. You're not paying for it. But if the offer is, we'll do a website review, it costs this much, but if you sign up for an SEO package, minimum 12-month commitment, we'll deduct the price of that. That's probably better, because you're probably going to get a somewhat more in-depth website review, because they have an incentive to do a better job, to give you a more in-depth analysis of your website, because it's not really free. They're asking you to sign up for a 12-month commitment, so they have to give you a reason to do that. Whereas if it's just a free website review, they can just give you a very basic, okay, you don't have image alt tags, you don't have title tags. It could be a very basic thing, and it can be informative, but then it has to be fixed. Yep. And a lot of times you can download an ebook, and free it's not always money. They'll ask for your email address. So if you're not sure about this company, be careful, because they might start spamming you. But there are a lot of good free resources out there. I've done it myself. I'll give them I have an email address I use for that, so I can just delete it. But if it's a reputable company, I've downloaded all kinds of stuff from WordStream, because they're a reputable company. I trust that they're not going to spam me. So yeah, free isn't necessarily bad. Just approach it with a little bit of skepticism, I guess. Yeah.
And I think it was Dan who kind of put a real good criteria kind of out there, which was, if it's a service, it probably, if they're saying it's free and it's not attached to a longer term engagement, then that's probably a warning sign right away. That resources, sure, but services that you're hoping to get big results from, probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Dan, why don't you jump in and any free offers that you think are good that you've come across or actually provide to prospects, clients?
Yeah. I think a few. I think it's probably okay to say stuff like things on your website that you might have, like an SEO, like an assessment, but it's kind of light level. It's the surface level sort of thing. It's not
right. It's not an audit. It's a
no.
Almost like a scorecard. Like
exactly.
Right.
So those preliminary scorecard kinds of things are fine. But in all honesty, when I think about anything free, the things that I've always gravitated to as stuff of value have been the free downloads, the free webinar signups that I don't have to be present in order to watch and get good information from it. Mm-hmm. So think about the things that you may not give away services, and you shouldn't, but you can and should give away knowledge. And there's a difference there, which is you want to give away just enough knowledge so that you can prove that, hey, I know this stuff, and I can give you a little taste of, what I know and what's pretty good. One of the better people I've ever seen took, 30, 45 minutes in a webinar, and you can do this virtually. And he just gave away like 3 good things. And that's usually his format. And you're not going to give away the farm by doing that. And if you can have somebody sign up for that for free, and then either live or on a replay, they will say, okay, well, I want to learn that stuff. There's no way in the world they're going to go out there and then start doing everything associated with that topic. It's impossible. You're just trying to get them to get on board and show interest in that. And I think that is really anything that you give away as a first level of knowledge that's free, I think is good. Checklists are great. Ebooks are great. Any downloadable is great for that. So I don't think, I think that stuff's got some meat to it too. It's like, it's not like some little tchotchke or something like that as a throw in. It's like, it's actual useful stuff they can refer back to. Yeah. So that's really where I would go with it.
Yeah. How about you, Jen?
Well, I'm going to switch to a different industry that I think does a great job of giving away things for free, gift with purchase, free trial, that kind of thing. And that's the cosmetics industry. For someone that uses makeup, it is an industry rife with something new coming out every single day to make you look 20 years younger, or, super fabulous, or whatever you think of it. Parts of it are enticing to people. So I think the ability to try out a new product for free is amazing. They also do give away things based on a certain time of the year. So there's certain cosmetic companies that give away like $400 worth of products in a carrying case, which for those of us who use cosmetics can't get enough of. And that comes out every start of every different season. So there is a built-in expectation if you're with or a fan of certain brands, just wait a few more weeks and then you get the bonus. And I just think they do a fabulous job of that because it is a product that you need to consume, you need to try out, you need to see if it works for you in order to be bought in to keep buying more. So, and it's often as well, being a consumer of this, you feel like you really are getting something for free. So because you are, but also too, with that industry, there's different things that they're coming out with. Some may be, marketing focused, some may be actually new formulations. And because it's so personal, you really have to try it in order to see if it works for you. Different colors, different foundations, different formulas, it matters. And once you find something that works for you, you're buying that thing. So I think they do a great job of it. It doesn't feel like a bait and switch because you know what you're getting for free. And it's the kind of thing, if it doesn't work for you, you didn't spend, any extra money on it, and away you go.
Love it. Great example. Great example. What about you, Ken?
I've got a few. So first of all, I think internet marketing was built on a concept called value in advance. And it's, that you need to get, the customer has control over the buyer's journey. More and more every day as the internet becomes more and more prevalent and people start to use it, know how to use it. We may be regressing a little bit because of so much bad and misinformation that's out there. But, it's very common to give things away for free. Ebooks, checklists. One of my favorites is an assessment. Now, it's not, the assessment may not cost you any money to take. It will cost you time to do. But people love that stuff because it's self-discovery, it's self-diagnosis. It helps them understand maybe what the next step is. It's good for the business that puts one of those out there because now you may be helping a customer understand a problem that they couldn't articulate before. And maybe the action that makes the most sense for them aligns very much with a solution that you have to provide. So, so something like that I think can work really well. This time of the year is a perfect example of a win-win situation. And I think you need to look for win-win situations. Software companies right now might make a deal for you to make a purchase, get 14 months for 12. The reason they're doing that, or in December, get 13 months, get an extra month. The reason they're doing that is because it's helping them meet corporate sales goals. So it's worth it to them to give that discount, but it's good for you as the consumer because you get an extra month of something that you may have been buying anyway. And if not, if you weren't ready quite yet, it may have been the thing that moved you across the finish line. So that's a win-win kind of a scenario. The last thing I'll say is, businesses that generate and have the opportunity to generate a lot of repeat businesses, free and coupons work really, really well, or at least they can. Giving people a reason to sign up for your VIP text message marketing list or a birthday club. These things have been going on. Restaurants have been doing this for years. And you know why? Because when somebody makes a purchase, when they get something for free, they spend more money. So it's a net win. This concept of, when you can get people to stack buying things on top of each other, you may make less overall individual profit for each thing, but the net overall profit you might get might be better than on any individual product. And so if you can get people to, to add these bump offers, or, which really, I mean, a coupon doesn't necessarily come across as a bump offer, but if you get a buy one, get one coupon for a restaurant, for like a pizza, for example, you might think about, hey, you know what? I just saved, $15. I'm going to buy breadsticks, or I'm going to get this dessert, or, and buy something else that you may not have purchased otherwise. It's, couponing and free and discounts done right, especially when you get the opportunity to get people to come back more frequently. And when they come back, they're buying more every time they do. That's where you need to explore using free.
It's like you can see right into my pizza buying behaviors, Ken. It's horrible. It's horrible.
So free, free can be a really bad, scary thing, or it can be a really clever way to go. Yeah. But it needs to be thought out, and it needs to be part of a strategy. And if it's free and it's just a one-off thing, it's not a good thing for your business.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll just add a couple I have. So Dan talked a little bit about free website reviews. I actually use those very strategically, like a scalpel. And the reason I use them is because if you understand the buyer's journey of, somebody has to know you, like you, trust you, try you in order to buy from you. I've found that actually doing a free 10-minute website review where it's not even a meeting, I pre-record it, I send it to the prospect, usually unsolicited. Actually, it's businesses I'm trying to target to win their business, where I show, it's only 10 minutes of my time. I'm showing enormous amounts of value to them by uncovering some issues they're having with their website and offering them recommendations. I've actually won some business that way. And the feedback I get from the clients is that, like, wow, Ian, nobody has ever given me anything for free in the marketing world. And so I've used it actually as a differentiator. Again, I use it as a scalpel because I can't afford to shotgun my time like that. The other one, which is very common in our industry as consultants and agencies, is a free discovery call, because again, that's a try. That's a know, like, trust, and try all in one. When somebody's willing to give you a little bit of their time, and you're able to hear them out of what their biggest marketing challenges are, and giving them some feedback in order to just be authentic and win their trust, again, goes a long way to our goal in our business, and our goal of all of our guys, because I know you guys well, is helping businesses grow. And then the last, yeah, you're absolutely right, Ken. And then the last one, more as a joke, is Starbucks and Krispy Kreme trials, right? Like giving something out, letting somebody taste. That's what some of those free offers are, is letting them taste your product before they're ready to buy in. And anybody who's ever gone to Starbucks and gotten a sample, I don't know if they do that during COVID, but they give you that pumpkin spice loaf, and you're like, that little taste was so good, I'm going to go buy 18 of them and feed my whole family for months.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, guys, I know we've come to the end of our time. This was a great discussion, and again, our goal today wasn't to scare people, but really to educate and help people understand that free offers, as enticing as they are not always positive things for their business. But that there are good free offers that can help you make an informed decision. So I hope our listeners have found that valuable. We're always here. If you want to reach out to us, just do that. And have a wonderful day.